Right now I'm sailing on the Pacific Ocean, and that behind me is Russian land. Now it makes sense to be sailing because this is Vladivostok. It's the largest port city on the Russian Pacific coast.
Vladivostok is the capital of the Primorsky region, a province in Russia's far east, which is about double the size of Austria.
Right now I'm on the flagship of the largest yacht club in Vladivostok. I'm going to see if I can help these guys out. Здравствуйте. Можно я помочь вам как-то? Вот это, да? Просто вот так. Okay. Let's see, we're hoisting the sail now. I'll let him tie it up, otherwise I'll mess it up. Wow! Wow! Oh my God! Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I think I'm doing the right thing because so far we haven't tipped over.
Sailing started gaining popularity in the Soviet Union just about 50 years ago. The yacht club 7 Futov, which means 7 feet, was founded 5 years ago on the site of an old sports club, and today it hosts about 150 boats.
So this is Mikhail. He's the captain of the ship. He's also the commodore of the yacht club. Здравствуйте, Mikhail. Okay, so it's a great day. I got to say, this is a great day for me too. It kind of feels like I'm back a little bit in my hometown, San Francisco, with the wind blowing and the sea. It's a lot calmer here though than it would be at home. What's going on out there in the sea with all these little boats and stuff?
Down there now there is a practice time for the children who attends a sailing school of 7 Feet Yacht Club.
So these are all kids out there on these little boats?
Yeah, there are kids from 8 till 18 years old.
This is a really probably ideal area to learn yachting, right?
Yes,
the sea
it's
is pretty
considered
calm.
to be ideal area because we don't have very big waves, only sometimes when we have northern winds, which are very strong.
Because you're in a bay, is that why?
Yeah, because we're in a bay, yeah.
About 70 people work in the youth wing of the 7 Futov Yacht Club. Children get to sail for free thanks to both sponsors as well as the money that the yacht club makes from docking fees.
Спасибо вам. Okay, how do I get out here?
An old fort overlooks the bay that I was sailing on, which has since been converted into a naval museum.
Wow, that was loud. It's an old Russian tradition in naval port cities to fire off a cannon precisely at noon every day. But today, the only 2 cities left where they still do that is St. Petersburg on the west and here in Vladivostok in the east.
Vladivostok is a rather young city. It was founded in 1860. Before that, this area was only known as a military garrison and as a base for seal and whale hunters. Today, about 600,000 people live in Vladivostok.
Right now I'm walking along Vladivostok's main drag. It's called Svetlanskaya Street. In the 19th century, this was called Amerikanskaya Street. And the reason is simple. This was the main point to America's west coast. But also because back then it was easier to get from here to San Francisco than to get from here to Moscow. This is called Tiger Street. It's named after the Amur tiger, which used to roam wildly in this area, but today there are only a few hundred of them left.
The best and most popular place for taking a stroll in town is on the promenade along the sea embankment.
For some reason in Russia, at outdoor eateries and kiosks, they love playing music so loud that the speakers actually distort. God, I mean, to me, it's pure pain, but for some reason, it attracts all kinds of people around it. Please make it stop!
But the music doesn't really matter when the weather's good. Like a lot of port cities, the sun brings out all types of people out into the streets.
Some people claim that Vladivostok is like the San Francisco of Russia's Far East, but in fact, at best, it's like the Long Beach of the Russian Far East. If you see these hills back here in the Golden Horn Bay, they should make for an ideal city with a great view. But unfortunately, Soviet planners got a hold of this city. They turned it into a military zone, and that's what it really looks like. It's just ports, block apartments, and in the 90s, things weren't a lot better. There was economic collapse, a lot of crime. So now, hopefully, in the 2000s, things are going to get better.
Vladivostok's port was founded in 1862, and it's an ideal spot for a port for a lot of reasons. It's deep, sheltered from gale winds, and it's an inlet that doesn't freeze over. The port's main function is moving cargo.
Well, most of what Russia imports are finished goods like cars or refrigerators. Most of what it exports are raw materials, like these metal rods right here. This particular port specializes in unloading second-hand cars that come in here from Japan. Now, each boat will unload between 600 and 1,500 cars a day. Now, these cars come in all sorts of conditions, but they all share one thing in common. They all have the steering wheel on the right-hand side.
Every year, some 300,000 used Japanese cars are unloaded at the port. Some of them are loaded right away onto freight trains or driven straight away into the heart of Russia. But most are sold right here in Vladivostok and the surrounding regions.
This is Russia's largest used car market. It's called Zelyony Ugol, which means green corner, and it's given that name not because it's a duty-free zone, but because this used to be a forest area, but now it's all cleared for these cars. In fact, there's still green forest all around here. Now, they sell literally thousands of cars here. Most of them are Japanese models. I see a car like that, and that is what I want. It's what we call a monster on wheels, but it's what the Russians call a Bigfoot. And I see this baby, and I just want to grow out a mullet and just back up over all those motorcycles and then come straight over these cars. I'm going to see if I got a chance. Здравствуйте. Ваша машина?
35 000 $.
So this car costs $35,000. That's a pretty good deal. So can I go into the car and take a look?
Yeah? It's open.
Thank you. Now, he told me that I can drive this car, in theory, over these motorcycles and over these cars, but actually these guys don't do it the way we Americans like doing it. They use these cars to go out into the taiga and driving over all kinds of rivers and mountains and so on. One thing I forgot, these cars, the steering wheel on the right-hand side, so I'm gonna have to move over. Unfortunately, I looked at my financial situation and I had to settle for something a little bit more humble. This thing is really cramped. This is what I call a monster embryo on wheels. It's a little bit humble, but it's gonna have to do for now. Since this is a port town, I've decided to pop into a local fish store and see what they've got on offer. It's strange, but here we are in a port town in a fish market, and yet there's almost no fresh fish here. All you have is dried fish, frozen fish, and canned fish. Like this stuff here, this is dried salmon, this is dried squid, this is dried octopus. The reason is there's no real demand for fresh fish here, and the reason there's no demand for it is that in the Soviet times, they didn't really have a way of doing frozen storage and distribution, So everybody got used to the dried fish and the canned fish, and today you have no fresh fish. And this is a fresh scallop. This is among the only fresh seafood you'll get here, these scallops. They're sold all over restaurants as well. Personally, I'm a big scallop fan. But the real treasure here is this big monster. It looks like something right out of Alien that would attach itself to your face. Uh-oh. He won't come out because he's attached to that. Get out of here. There you go. Look at this. This guy is huge. Now, the Kamchatka crabs are known for being really big, much bigger than even Alaskan king crabs. But in fact, this guy is quite small for a Kamchatka crab. Usually they'll fill up the entire tank. And he's looking a little bit angry, but he's also looking pretty delicious. Get back in there.
You can find live crabs in Vladivostok not only in the stores, but also in the local aquarium, the only aquarium of its kind in Russia's Far East. The aquarium has about 300 types of marine animals on display, most of which are native to the Pacific Ocean region around Vladivostok. The good folks at the aquarium showed me how they feed these critters.
We're gonna feed some Kamchatka crabs. I'm here with Leonid, who works here at the aquarium. What are we gonna feed the crabs here?
Squid.
Squid, huh? So we're gonna feed them squid. I guess they have pretty good taste. And let's see how they react. Are they hungry? Они голодные? Wow. Gonna try putting one of these?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Should I feed it to this one or that one? To this one, yeah? Okay. Who's your buddy? Who's your best friend?
Woody Allen was right when he said that nature is just bigger animals eating smaller animals. It's just one giant non-stop restaurant. Besides showing off live animals, the aquarium also has a lot of stuffed and pickled creatures on display. Through the display cases, you can check out really rare specimens from the ocean depths.
This is the taxidermy studio. It's where they prepare all the fish, the dead fish exhibitions, that is. And you can smell the formaldehyde in here. It's kind of a nasty smell, and it reminds me a bit of biology class. In fact, it looks like a biology class in here. Some of these creatures are like a little boy's dream come true. They're real horror monsters, kind of H.P. Lovecraft looking things like this guy. This is sort of an albino skate. I don't know what the hell that thing is doing there. But this is the really gross one here. There's like, I don't know, a lamprey or a hagfish. You see, it's just a tube with like a mouth that has a sucker and jaws, and it attaches itself to a poor fish and just sucks its blood till it's nice and full, and then it drops off and swims away. It's nice to have it in here. And this thing, I mean, it doesn't even look like anything. It's just, it looks like something I'd stick in my shoe to fight odor or something. And it crawls or swims or whatever the heck it does along the ocean. And this right here, this is the tram maniac. Now, I guess, I don't know why this is here, but it kind of fits in. Like, this maniac guy kind of looks like, I guess more like the lamprey here. So this is Kostya. Right now, he's making an exact copy of zubatka, which is a local fish here. You can see this guy is pretty ugly, and if I'm not mistaken, zubatka might mean toothfish. And toothfish, as people may know, is actually in Chile, in the region around Chile, is the Chilean sea bass, which was every yuppie's favorite food. So this guy may be the next big yuppie food, but let's find out. Можно помочь вам в этом? So I'm going to see if I can help him out a little bit. Спасибо. Okay. There we go. Ooh, okay. And what I'm doing here is just kind of like the movie Hostel. And I'm a sadist just getting off on this right now. No, I can't do that. Okay, спасибо вам.
Vladivostok is also a border town, located just 50 kilometers from China.
Vladivostok's proximity to China means that Chinese culture has all kinds of influences on Vladivostok's. For example, here they have dragon boat racing, which is a sport that comes from China. But here in Vladivostok, they're already pretty successful at it.
The local team is called the Vladivostok Tigers. It was founded in 1999, and just 1 year later, the Tigers already started to take on and beat the Chinese, who founded the sport and traditionally have ruled it.
So I'm not going to be actually one of the rowers on this team, but I will be beating the drum to keep rhythm. Marina's going to show me how. Здравствуй, Marina.
Здравствуйте.
So I got to take a seat here in front of the drum. Whoa! I think I'm a little bit heavy for this boat. Я тяжелый или нормально, да? Нормально. Okay, I'm not too heavy. Uh-huh. All right, so these are the drums.
И ударяйте этими
Как rock and roll? Как...
Нет.
Oh, okay. Like this. These guys are going really fast. They go up to 20 kilometers an hour. They do this in sprints of either 250 meters or 500 meters or up to 2 kilometers. Means I'm getting tired just hitting this drum. And these guys, they got to be in good shape. Wow, these guys were great. Спасибо, ребята. These guys were amazing for a while. Oh my God. For a while I was just trying to go kind of easy listening rhythm, and then one point they said like get as fast as I could go. So I went as fast as I could go, and they went faster than me. And they're still alive. Like I almost fell off myself, but these guys are great. Удачи вам.
Because of its proximity to East Asian countries, Vladivostok features lots of Japanese, Chinese, and Koreans. And that's sweet news for Asian food lovers like me, because it means you've got an amazing choice of Asian restaurants.
Ah, Peking duck. I love this. One of my favorite things about Vladivostok are all the Chinese restaurants they have here. In fact, there are more Chinese restaurants in this city than anywhere in Russia. Not only that, it's really good and it's great value as well. Здравствуйте. Я готов. This chef comes from China, and that's one of the secrets to Vladivostok's good Chinese food. Most of their chefs will come from China directly. They're not second generation immigrants, they're first generation. Спасибо. That is really good duck. Absolutely perfectly prepared.
Vladivostok was initially built as a border stronghold in the very far east of the Russian Empire. Its name itself means ruling over the east. Around the turn of the 19th to the 20th century, Vladivostok and the surrounding areas were converted into an impregnable sea fortress. The fortifications extended some 350 kilometers along the Pacific coast. The best built of all the fortifications was on Ruski Island, which controls the sea entrance into the Vladivostok Inlet.
The ferry heads to Ruski Island 5 times a day, and it takes about 40 minutes to get there. Now, most people go there just to relax, to go camping or mountain biking or to head to their dacha. I'm going to go look at a fort that's there.
The forts and batteries on Ruski Island were built mainly after Russia's defeat in the Russo-Japanese War of 1904-1905, as well as in the 30s during Stalin's time.
Right now I'm going to head underground into the fort. I'm going to meet a guy who's going to help show me around. Здравствуй, Artur.
Hi, Mark.
Mark, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Здравствуйте. So Artur is the head of a digger society, and what they do is they explore the whole network of underground tunnels and bunkers. Well, let's go inside, yeah?
Welcome to hell.
At first, this was a storage place for artillery shells, but later it became a general ammo dump for machine guns and other bullets. You really have to watch your head, huh? Here, and watch your feet. And, No, bad idea.
Interesting.
What's this for? This is for an AK-47 or?
Cannon of Kalashnikov AK-47.
So AK-47. Okay, this is the gun that everybody loves. So this tunnel right here goes down 20 meters deep, and it connects to a whole network of tunnels that includes a command center. It hooks up with the power stations and all the forts in the island. I'm not going to go. I'm sorry, but I like.
Can you please your jacket?
Sure.
Because dirty.
It's really dirty in there. Okay.
Well.
All right. I gladly give you my jacket.
Oh, thank you.
So my super high-end Chinese flashlight's already starting to give out. That was quick, and I just don't want to go down there, but Artur is incredibly brave. He doesn't mind this. Personally, I prefer Vladivostok on sea or by land. Since Vladivostok is a port town, it makes sense that I would spend most of my time on the water here. I came in on a yacht, I spent time on a dragon boat, I fed Kamchatka crab through an aquarium, and now I'm leaving on a ferry heading back out to sea, and it's raining out. But in the end, it makes sense because water is the stuff of life.